So you want to build better in Roblox Studio, yet everything online seems too excessive or not excessive enough. Thankfully, I'll be cutting the bullshit today and showing you the important stuff so you can get back out there and build like you've always wanted to. Make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. First things first, we have unions. These are houses that I built that we can be used to dissect basically. And what we have here is a union. This thing is a union, as you can see here. Union. Now, unions, if you separate them, you can clearly see that they are made up of different parts. Today, I didn't know what I was doing, and I built something that goes against the grain here. As you can see that the texture is going up and down, while on here it's going left to right. Now, these cause a lot of problems. So if I was to select this one first, and then select this one, and click unionize, it would then copy the texture going straight down, as this one originally did. But now we have a reoccurring issue, where this one is going across, and this one is going straight down. So once again, we can separate them one more time, and depending on what item you select first, it will dictate what direction the material will be facing. So if I want all of them to be facing left to right because it just looks better, if you disagree, you're an idiot, and we click unionize, everything will go across from left to right. It'll all be nice and easy. They're used for also connecting up joints when they are glitched. So if I separate this one more time, we can see that if I grab this one, stretch it out just a wee bit, that it might glitch with the texture here, since they are, you know, different facings. But anyway, it's a common occurrence with merging two different models together, and by unionizing these separate things, it fixes the issue. It connects it all and makes it one part itself, which you can then put into a model. Now, the problem with a lot of these unions is that it may break depending on how the house or whatever you build is functionized. So make sure to play around with. I am not explaining anything further than that, because you don't really need to know anything further than that, because these should be used on selected items to connect only parts that you know will serve a purpose. So as in this house, I have the arches, a separate union. I have the stabilizers, I guess the foundation pillars, as a separate union. I have the roof as a separate union. I have these as models though, and those are separate parts. Like, you have to specifically select the correct items that you want to be a union, where you know they won't be disturbed and are purely there for decorations. And that's about it for unions. Next on our list, we have intersections. I don't have any actual intersections here that I can show you, so I'll just make one for you. If you grab a part, make it any part. I'm like a magician with his cards. Grab a card, any card. You make your part, and then you're like, hey, I want to make some windows, but I don't want to go down each little weary way and like make each individual pillar to make a window shape. So what you do instead is that you grab your part, you make it the size of the wall that you want, you then grab another part, whether it be a square, a wedge, how you can grab a cylinder and make a circular window, I guess. I don't care. Now you grab that, you size it to whatever you want it to be, shrink it down a wee bit, and you just want to make it so it's poking through on each little side. You will then hold shift and click negate. Make it all red. And then you want to hold shift, select the other part that you want the wall to be, I guess, and you just click intersect. It will then take away the negated part and basically leave you with a hole, depending on what the negated part infiltrated, I guess. So you can, you know, change the size of that, you know, mess around with it, give you duplicate it even. Just make sure both of the negates are selected first before selecting the part that you want to put holes in, and then click intersect right at the top in your model things, and you will have seamlessly holes, you freak. Now, next on my list, I have negate, but we've kind of already talked about that. You just grab a part, you hit negate, and then you can just drag it around, size it to whatever you want. Just make it, if you just want massive holes without having to do like individual items, you can just go like that, and then you can just like, oh yeah, let's select the entire house. Okay, well, you can't select the entire house, I take that back. You can just grab whatever. You grab the union, why not? Make sure you have the red part always. So you just click and intersect, and you just put a giant hole in it. Next in my notes, I'm talking about plugins. Woo! Now, I have a bunch of plugins that help with me building and make shit just a whole bunch easier, and there are new ones that I have found Thanks to Asimo on Twitter, you know, the jailbreak goat. Love that guy. I would kiss him. Now, first on the lips, we have gap fill here. Gap fill. Let's see who it's by, because I don't give credit. Here we go. Gap fill by Stravant. He does all of these. Redupe, model reflecting gap fill, which I all have. Now, with gap fill, it's actually really fancy, and I love it. So, if, say, you have 2 blocks, we'll make 1 block here. I'll angle it a wee bit. Then we'll just duplicate it, rotate it once, I guess. And we have this, we go like that. We have this odd little gap. You're like, it's just the child you never wanted. It's like, get this out of my face. Like, it's just so gross. But that's where the justice system comes in. And you can just grab gap fill. You can select one corner of the outside or inside, depending on whatever you want. Play around with it. I don't care. And then you select the other side. And it connects it beautifully. Seamless finish. It's like repairing your car after you hit a child at a crosswalk. Now, depending on what it fills it in with, you'll be left with little bumps and bruises like this. But if you can just go like that and then just shrink it to that size you want, I guess. I don't know why you would shrink something. You always, you know, go big or go home. But you can then, on the other side, fix the same thing. Go like that, and you have yourself a shitty engine block that you can put in a dusty trip. Because that game is shit. Right, and that's how the gap fill works. I will then want to move on to reflect. It just duplicates shit. Like, this is kind of pointless, personally. I would just use this one. The mirror. This plugin is way better. It's just easier. Live Mirror by Dude1. It doesn't have the best reviews, but who actually gives a shit? This is your mirror panel. Anything on this side, this side on the right, where the actual blocks are, your knob, will be reflected onto that side. So you will then just grab your parts. Grab your little parts. We'll group them as a model to make things easier. Just name it shitty little part. And then you just want to have it selected and just click Live Mirror. And it will then just mirror it from the point of contact. And every movement from here will be mirrored. Even without the bloody mirror, it will be mirrored. Now moving on to redupe. So we grab another model again. We can click redupe. We can check how many studs. As you can see, this person here just drags it out. If we just drag it out a bunch, we can just make it an equally distance, and it just makes it easier making it steers. So if I was to drag this back down to 1, it would also delete everything. So if I just sit there, just grab it down, make it face flat, grab the model again, pull it up a little bit, and then I head back to redupe, make it a slip mount sign, and then I can grab this yellow one and I can click place 14 copies, make sure they're all fucking anchored, don't be an idiot, make them anchored, test here, and you have yourself an equally fit staircase with the exact measurements down to the point of a stud. All nice and beautiful. You're building the stairway to heaven. I mean, who doesn't want to go up? It's more conventional that way. So that's reduping. I learned that straight from Asmo. He's a G. Next plugin we have is Launch Archimedes. I don't fucking know if I said that right, and I don't care if I did or not. For this one, we just want to enter it apart, and what Launch Archimedes does, you can just type up Archimedes and you'll see it's got a little protractor thing. You can choose what side or direction, I guess, you want it to place a copy. Now, this is pretty good for building circles and for having seamless. Look at that. I could kiss my screen with how fucking beautiful that is. And there you have it. You have a circle. Archimedes is really good. I love it. This is one of my favorite plugins of all time. I just couldn't make it any better because I just can't make it generally. But it's also good if you want to flip the axis and it will go down the upper way, flip axis, it'll put that one, swap sides, you're clearly fucking swapping sides. Bob's your uncle, and you can have directional ones. So this is also good. If you go on the X squared and you click swap, you go X squared on any part, you can then basically make a road. You can flip axis, boop, flip axis, boop, flip axis, oh, boop, flip axis, render all of it. And you basically have a seamless, I don't know what I'm making, but this is pretty cool. But it's great. It's great. This is great. This is great. I love it. And I always will love it. Unlike you guys. I'm kidding. I love you guys. Whoever watches this. And there you have it. Fucking goggles. Add some little cylinder eyes, I guess. Fucking close Archimedes. Boop. Boop. Just like that. Boop. Boop. Make a face, I guess. This is where Archimedes can go back in. Yeah. Go to model. Get Archimedes. Make sure it's nice and you go bump, bump. Oh, that's a bit too tight. Oh, we got bump. We got bump, 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 bump. Look at that. Let me just make it black as well. And there you have it. Googly eyes. You got a face. You got everything you ever wanted. Beautiful. Archimedes. Love it. Get out of there. Next we have Avatar Importer. Just search Avatar Importer. They all do the same shit. You just type in a username, import R6 or R15. If you have the Moon Animator one, that's great. I don't at the moment. And you can just import avatars. That's great. I love it. But parts of terrain is next on my model list. These are all going to be put under the same thing as model. So screw you guys once again. Let's just size it up. Wah, wah. Oh, wah, wah, wah. Okay. Yep. Okay, whatever. And you click parts terrain. You select the part you want. And you can change it to whatever you want, I guess. We can undo that. Change it to water. Select the part. And it will be changed to a block of water. Undo it again. Go to ice, I guess. Change it. And you have a block of ice. You get the gist. That's pretty much it. You got glacier, I guess. I don't know. You can change the settings if you want. I don't, because I don't care about them. And that should be it. Next on my list is folders. We all love folders, so I'm going to show you all of my folders. Here, folders are perfect because you can select things as groups and move them around as if they were groups, but they don't do much. It's like it's better than a model if you want to keep it all neat and tidy without actually fucking anything up. So if you grab them individually, you can see they will grab as the model, but you can't grab them individually and it will select under the folder. As if I go here and I want to select the door, I can't just hover over and it'll select the door. It'll select the model itself, but it will not select the folder. Folders are great for keeping everything tidy, get everything neat, and just honestly anything. If I scroll over to here, it's like, instead of adding all of these labels down at the bottom like a loser, I could then just click onto it and figure out what folder it is under. It is the same thing with, ignore that. Same thing with over here. I'm like, what is this hunk of mess? And we can scroll up past all of that and figure out, oh, it's under the effects folder. Who would have guessed? Same with here. It's unlocated, so these haven't been located to anything special. Yeah, you get your point. It's folders, it's good, use it, keeps everything nice and tidy. You actually know where shit is going to be. Next point on, I want to move on to materials. So materials are a key factor. You can either add your own materials by making a texture, I guess, or you can just use the default Roblox one. A lot of builders actually use default Roblox one if they don't actually make one themselves in Blender or use decals or whatever. So materials, you have a list of materials. I'm not going through all of them, but most of the common ones are wood, grass, brick, and like concrete, I guess. These will change depending on the color you have, the visibility of it, as well as always. And a lot of the things that people complain about is the grass texture looking horrible compared to the 2022 and before version. So something you can do is you go down to material service, and in the properties tab you scroll down to the bottom and you uncheck use 2022 materials, so you get all of the better grass materials if you want. You also get changes to the brick and all of that. You can settle for yourself, I guess. It's whatever. It's just, there's not much of a difference, but it is noticeable, and some are better than others, some aren't. If you want to change all your materials to that, that's just what you use. It's Bob's your uncle, yada 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 yada. Make sure that it's checked off, and if you want to go to individually, that is an entirely different process that you will research on your own, because it's a lot of things I have to reopen again, which I don't want to do. But these are grass textures. Textures are fun, textures are good. You keep them all nice and tidy, I guess, and have fun with them. A lot of things can mean other things. Like a lot of people use different materials to portray different things, even though it is nowhere related as close, which, you know, makes sense. And they always mix and match. Mix and match is good, understanding what materials are good together, what they want to portray, and how good they are portraying it. That is an important note to keep when building. A lot of people nowadays make a lot of stud experiences, and a lot of stud experiences require stud buildings. Because why the fuck would there be this kind of detail in steel or brainrod? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. So you grab your block. I will show you how to get to the surface materials, I guess, area of it. There you go, just size it up so you see everything. And you want to go into run a command. Running the command you can find in the script. You can go to command output. You want to select that so this here shows up in the bottom. You then want to go and actually name your part. You always want to name your part first. Just go stud part penis. Name it whatever the hell you want. I don't care. You then go to workspace dot stud part stud part penis. You then go top surface. You go equals. You go enum. You go surface type. You go studs. Once that is put into effect, you can scroll down into properties into the surface tab. This here will then give you access to all the different surface tabs on how people build in studs. So either you can select studs on all of these and make each side into the Roblox studs. Now we'll talk about all this ones. Glue looks like that. Hinge looks like that. Inlet, just opposite of studs. Motor looks like that. Smooth is just smooth. Smooth, no outlines. Stepping motor. Studs. Studs. Universal, so it's a mix of the inlets and the studs. And weld, which looks, it's just the exact same as glue. There's not much difference, but that's how you get it. And you can change it to each of the sides of the different part, and you can then just, you know, duplicate it, I guess, and then you have a stud building block for life without actually having to put a bunch of decals or textures on it. That it just doesn't look exactly right. These also do take apart two different colors as well as different shadings, different models, and they will disappear if you unionize two things. So if I go like this, go like that, go like that, and I select this one as well, go to that, go to union, it will disappear. So all of the studs have to be separately built, but they can be grouped as a model. Everything will be fine. Nothing will change. Bob's your uncle. Don't be dilly-dallying. Goodbye. Right, almost at the end. We got 3 more, including this one. Right, the sizing and designing of your builds. You want to grab a character, whether it be a rigged from the avatar character. There we go, generate rig. Just grab a bunch of that if you want. And you just want to grab a R6 because this is the default. You can then also grab an R15, stretch it up to whatever size you want, or you can just grab your R15 character to base it off that size. Now, when building things, you want to build it either, depending on the game, whether you want to go R6 or R15, you will then change what character you want to reference the height of. I personally like to do a lot of R6 because all my games are more basically smaller and I don't give a shit about too cool people. So with that, you can then measure all your sizing and all of that and figure out what's best. You can also increase the size if you want. I'm not your mama. Now, this will increase the size of it all and make it look a bit bigger than it actually is or what it wants to be. Now, this is kind of inherently good if you want to do interiors where you want to make things that actually look as big as they intend to be. Like with one of the interiors I've done before on a map, this is the fireplace. Now, if I compare it to a normal sized human, it is a decent sized fireplace. It is average. It is what you expect. But when you pair it with R15 and longer characters, you will see that there is quite a problem. And you just look like a tall person in a midget's house. Everything just looks wrong. It doesn't look nice. This fire is also custom made by me. I'm not going into it. Shut up. And you want to keep all of that sizing and designing in mind when building everything. And please, for the love of fucking God, I'm going to crop this out and put it to the back. Press anchor. Anchor your builds. Anchor them.